Hello, everyone. I know we are starting differently, but I decided to do a little voiceover over top of a speed painting because this one, well, first of all, it didn't go exactly as planned, and second of all, I have had some technical issues in regards to my filming equipment. Just in general. I can't actually, I can't have my mic plugged in at the same time as my camera. So that's fun. But in this painting, I did start with gouache. And we are painting a foggy, moody morning. At least that was the idea when I started painting it. By the end of the painting, it doesn't quite give what I was looking for, which is where the problem occurred. So I just started using some gouache here in some gray browns, trying to lay in the basic shapes that I wanted, trying to get some texture in this like tree area. This is supposed to be a very large tree that is overreaching over top of a walkway. And there's supposed to be like a building or some faraway trees that are kind of distant, which is what those vertical lines are on the other side. And then on the part that I'm painting right now, you can see that is a very large tree, or at least it's supposed to be. And then I'm gonna come in here with a little bit of a smaller brush to paint the light post. When I was picking up one of my friends, hello Allie, and she she lives in a place where one morning there was a lamppost that was shining light on a foggy morning, and it wasn't trees, admittedly, it was a parking lot, but I just really liked the way that it gave like very spooky atmospheric vibes for first thing in the morning, which I really just love. I'm very much pro autumn and spooky times and spooky vibes. So I thought, why not try to do this painting? And I am still on my gouache journey, but as I am coming to the end of my gouache journey here, I've only got 2 more months left of this year to do gouache paintings. I am discovering I need more skills. I need more time. I need more experience. While doing the Canadian style paintings worked really, really well in this, doing the general landscapes the way that I usually do just doesn't have the same feel as the oils do. Oils just give so much more depth and life, in my opinion. Not necessarily in everyone's opinion, but in my opinion, in the way that I have been doing them. Mind you, I do also have like an additional 10 plus years of doing oils, but even still, just right away when I started doing oils, I still felt like I had more of a grasp on getting the depth and texture and character, and the world just feels more alive in oil paintings, whereas in the gouache paintings I'm finding they feel more flat. They don't feel as alive. And again, it could be a skill issue. I think it's 100% a skill issue personally, because I have seen other people do amazing things with gouache where it absolutely has life and depth and character. And I think I just need more exposure, more practice with it, because I'm not getting it. Maybe, not maybe. It is definitely a skill issue. Not maybe. For sure, it's a skill issue. I thought that maybe if I did a year of doing gouache paintings on YouTube, that would help in the same way that I spent a year doing those palette knife painting challenges. Which it absolutely had an immediate impact on my ability to paint with a palette knife. And I definitely thought that the same thing would happen when I painted a year with gouache. Unfortunately, I just don't think I was painting enough in general. When I did the year of doing the palette knife challenges once a month, I was still also painting other paintings in that month. Whereas this one, these are the only paintings I've been doing pretty much all year. Unfortunately, I just haven't had time to organize my life in a way that allowed me to do more paintings. And I think that might be my goal for next year, is to try to do more paintings, or to include more paintings in my regularly scheduled life, because I do really enjoy painting. And as soon as I switched to the oil paintings, you can just feel how excited and how much more comfortable I am painting with the oils than I am with the not acrylics, with gouache. So I think maybe I've watered down the gouache too much and it needs to be thicker. Maybe I need to use a different medium than water. That's something I never thought about. It is possible that there are mediums that I can try out to make the paint last longer, but also maintain that texture that it has, and its opacity. I find that when you mix it with the waters, it's easier to blend, but it might be easy to blend with some sort of other medium as well. I still love how fast it dries. I think that is a huge bonus to gouache that is not the same with oils. Oils take forever to dry. And I do like that I was able to figure out a way to blend to blend the gouaches so that they do blend when I want them to, or don't blend when I don't want them to. They have the ability to have that variation, which I do very much enjoy. But I'm just not finding I'm able to get the depth the way that I want to. You can see that this painting has a feeling like it just kind of stops at the light post. It doesn't like keep going. It's like I just didn't paint that area. But I mean, I didn't, but the idea was that it's because of the fog, it's because of misty glow from the lamppost, but it doesn't come across in the painting, which is kind of the problem that I was facing. I did have a lot of fun painting these little tiny white flowers. I thought that was really cool. But this painting ended up being much more monochromatic, much more just black and white. And I wanted it to be more like sepia tone, however you pronounce that. Still, no answer on how to pronounce that correctly in my life. I'm trying. We'll go with what we have here, but I'll continue to probably say it both ways. Because, I'm a both ways kind of gal. You guys know that. You've been around. You know. It's not a secret. But yeah, so I think we're nearing the end of the gouache portion of this painting. And I'll switch over to the oils fairly soon. I'm just doing some like dots basically for the white flowers. I don't know why this ended up being so blurry. I really hope the oil painting, I learned how to focus, because this was not focused. And there we go. There it is, all dry. And now I'm applying the goop to it so that I can do my oil painting and have it all smooth and beautiful. I definitely thought the one, you can see there's like a dark spot on one of the tree stumps. Like, I thought that was going to be like texture and cool, and it was not. It just looked like a broken tree, and that was not what I was going for. I did like the little, I'm gonna call it a knot in the tree on the right-hand side. I think that looked really cool, and I liked the overall layout of it. And I also really liked the fence. I thought the fence turned out really cute. But I felt like it was like lacking significantly when it came to the tree. In terms of like how the background tree, the foreground tree, like texture, life, leaves, everything. Like it didn't tree for me. So I decided to go back over the entire painting in oils. First of all, to give it that beautiful sepia tone, which I absolutely love. And second of all, to just make it, more alive and have more depth. It already has so much more depth just having that brown color on there. I have no idea why I didn't cut this part out of the painting. Well, that's fine. It's sped up anyways, so I was getting the palette knife ready. So I changed the one big tree into some, I think I did 2 smaller trees. And same with the tree on the right here. I initially had it as one big tree, and then I was like, well, I mean, it could still be one big tree, honestly, but it has like a big secondary trunk. You know, sometimes how trees have like 2 trunks coming out of the same stump? That's the kind of vibe that it ended up having, which I definitely enjoyed the way that it looked at the end. So I hope that you guys do as well. If you guys like this format, by the way, please let me know, because this is an entirely different format than I usually paint in, or that I usually do these YouTube videos in. And it is as a result of technology, so you'll have to forgive me for that. But if you like it, then that worked out great. If you didn't like it, you know, also let me know so I can try to see if I can fix it. It's my USB ports are not happy with the amount of things that I am using the USB ports for. Is basically what it's come down to. They never really did, but we pressed on anyways, and now they're very angry at me. It's been a few years, and that's how it goes. So yeah, I do think I did end up getting the focus a little bit better on this one, but not by much. And now I'm trying to highlight, but then I realize the highlight is way too strong, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do about this? I'll fix it later, don't worry. I think it takes me 3 attempts to fix that, but this side, I was like, yes, that is the perfect amount of glow that I would like from the tree, or from the lamppost. And I was like, yes, I finally got it right. Maybe it is correct if I do it on this side, but it was like, nope, it still has too much white over there. That is what happens. So added some texture to the path as well, so that the path had a little bit more texture. And then into the trees we go. And I really am just using one color here for the entirety of this. I mean, there's white, and then there was burnt umber. That's what I decided to use for the sepia tone, was just burnt umber. I think it led this painting to being very warm yet dark and mysterious, and I like that effect that it had over the entire painting, making that like warm and cozy yet somehow still mysterious, which took away from the spooky vibes, admittedly, but laying in the fog in the distance did so much for the depth of this painting. Just that little move right there that I just did. So amazing how much depth I got in this painting just from doing like a tiny bit of white in the distance. It adds so much life to this painting. And I very much was trying to achieve that with gouache and was failing miserably at it. So I am really glad that I went over this with oils to be able to do this, because it did give the entire painting so much more life. And I'm going to keep trying to do gouache paintings. I don't know if I'm still going to keep going with gouache paintings into the new year. Or if I'm just gonna go back to doing oil paintings. I don't know. It's possible I painted less this year because I was trying to focus on gouache so much, and as a result was trying not to paint with my oils. At the same time, I do also need to buy oils because I am running low on some colors, so there is also that as a factor. But that's okay. And I'm just gonna add a few little trees in the distance here to kind of, again, help with that depth problem that I was having. So if you add some more like distant trees, then it'll help to feel like there is some, you know, difference between the foreground and the background, and, you know, have some intermediate layers, which I think I achieved. I think I solidly achieved that. Now I'm gonna fix this tree because it was way too bright. Definitely needed to be darker over here because it's much further away from the lamppost than the other 2 trees are. So I was trying to darken that up on the end there. I got it eventually. It worked out beautifully. There you go, see? And then I was like, you know, maybe this spot is a little bit too wide. It needs a little friend in here. So I added a little friend. There you go, just like that. That's how easy it is to add a little friend, honestly. That's what I love so much about oil paintings, is that it's so easy to add one little thing that makes such a big difference in your painting. And I find that with gouache, it's a lot of struggle to get a little bit of a difference. And maybe that's just the way that I have been going about painting with gouache. Maybe it's because I've been trying to paint gouache as if there were oils, and they're definitely not oils. So that is potentially a me problem. But I won't give up, but I do think that oils is where my heart is. And that might just have to be how the world is. Because I definitely enjoyed this painting doing with oils. It also was much faster to paint with the oils than it was with the gouache colors. So I don't know. Maybe I will switch back to doing oils all the time. Maybe we'll have a happy medium. Maybe I will use gouache as I feel like it. We shall see. But I would love to hear your thoughts and comments on this painting, because I had a lot of fun painting it in oils and not a lot of fun painting it in gouache. But if you guys have suggestions for what you would like me to see me try to do next, please feel free to let me know. And I will absolutely attempt to make it happen. I can't always guarantee everything, but if I can try, I will try. So there is the painting, all nice and done. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. Again, please remember that you are loved. You deserve to be loved. And also, this is the last month to order one of my calendars. So if you'd like to order a calendar, please look at the comments below. There is going to be a link in there to my website that has the calendar. So if you want a calendar full of 12 oil paintings by me, please feel free to go and look at that. I do ship internationally, and you have until November 1st of 2025 to be able to order that calendar. And I'll ship it to you, personally signed by me. All right, well, you are loved, you deserve to be loved, and I will catch you next month. Bye.